Hey YouTube, here's Heiko. Just went and picked up a couple new victims for my small engine repair shop. I do recycling of all machinery, so I pick them up for cheap or free sometimes, and then analyze the situation and maybe put them back together, and then they will have another second life. Over here is a Ace hardware store mower that I just brought back to life. Really the only thing that's wrong with it is a little bit of faded paint from being stored outside, but the motor Tecumseh, made in the US. I think this mower is date of manufacturing 2010, so that's not even an old one. So yeah, got new oil, sharpened blade. I had to replace the motor brake. This is on-off switch and brake of the motor. Have to replace this cable, and everything else is just super fine. Starts up on the first pull. It's just a push mower. It doesn't have a self-drive function. So yeah, and a nice bagger. So this is going to be sold hopefully today. And now I found myself two more mowers. So I sold one yesterday, and the new owner of that used Toro mower that I sold yesterday said, yeah, I have two broken ones. This is a 2010 John Deere. Has all those bells and whistles like variable drive speed and all kinds of unfortunately broken cables. So there is like a handle up here. Let's see if we can zoom in or zoom out a little bit. So like a moving handle here, and it has a little lever here, and then the on-off switch lever here, and yeah, a few too many little levers and functions, and everything seems to be broken. There's plastic broken here. That only existing cable is also kind of messed up here. Maybe I can heat that up and melt it back in shape. And then there's a cable broken here. But the cool thing is, I pulled on this recoil starter once and it started up, so that's pretty good. And then I have a 1996 Snapper, and those machines are actually commercial grade. Yeah, 96 is pretty old, but this is a solid machine, all made in the United States. It's all really heavy duty sheet metal, even though the mower deck is a little rusty and a little dented. I don't know if they always run into trees instead of slide it against the trees. I don't know exactly. But yeah, you can see everything is a little more stout and strong. Like for example, the gearbox for the drive, it's actually a variable speed drive. It has a similar setup to most of the snowblowers. So it has like a drive disc. That one is driven by a belt directly from the engine, and then this is a drive disc that translates it over to this belt, which goes to the gearbox down here. So you actually can change, if everything is working the way it's supposed to, you can actually change the speed of this thing, how fast it walks ahead of you. And then here's a little lever, tightens the belt over there. So that's actually pretty nice. And then this gearbox is actually filled with oil. So that's something that you usually don't see on Home Depot mowers. So this is pretty cool. And then the surprising part is all the cables are still there, and they're all still working. So I just have to maybe oil them a little bit, and at least don't have to buy any expensive cables. At the moment, it doesn't have any spark. My spark tester here, just had my son standing here next to it, and had him look at it and pulled it a couple times. Unfortunately, no spark. So I've already started, sorry. So over there's the bagger. That's also different from most consumer product mowers. So the throw is up top, not at the bottom. I don't know if that's beneficial or if that's better. But yeah, the bagger is attached up there. It also has a safety switch on this chute, so if you take the chute up for some repair work, then the safety switch disables the ignition pretty much. And then yeah, I mean, a little bit butchered parts down here. I don't know what happened here. We can probably, with a soldering iron, put that back together. The drive, all the belts are there. Everything is moving how it's supposed to. I mean, this all needs to be a little lubed, you know, the sliding function, the speed function, and then the cables and those levers here, they all need to be adjusted a little bit. But overall, if I can get some spark back into this thing, you know, maybe it's just a bad coil, or maybe it's one of those multiple safety switches. So this commercial grade snapper has, just like most every modern mower, has this little lever here that, as you can see down there, moves a lever, and that lever has two functions. Once it has a brake pad, which slows down the motor once you turn it off, let go of the handle. It slows the crankshaft or the flywheel down, and there is an on-off switch in there, so it's pretty much like a little contact that grounds the ignition so the engine stops sparking, or the ignition stops sparking. And yeah, maybe we just have a little bit of some ground issue there. And then now that I look at it, looks like the rear axle might be bent. It looks a little kind of rounded there. I bet that should be straight. I don't know. Well, maybe I'm just imagining that. Maybe it's because of that broken plastic piece down there. It looks like the axle is actually kind of okay. Yeah, so if we can manage to restore the spark on this thing, and then maybe clean out the float ball. I already checked for oil. It's cruddy dirty, but there's at least oil in there. So that's always a good sign. And there's also some fuel in here, and I stuck my nose in there. It still smells like fuel, so it doesn't smell like varnish. And the primer bowl on the gas, on the carburetor is still there and in one piece, so that's nice too. So yeah, I think I'm gonna disconnect all those safeties, which is usually just a wire clamped in between something. Take that off, and then I'm gonna try to see if we get spark. And then if we get spark, we might have a running snapper from 1996. And then I'm going to beautify this whole thing and adjust it all. And then maybe someone wants an older snapper. And then we're going to work on this puppy. Yeah, over here I have another victim. This is even older. I think this is also mid-90s. Craftsman. That's when Craftsman was still a US made company. Surprisingly, same thing. It was parked outside all its life. It's all rusty, but all the cables here. So here's the on-off switch lever. Here is the, what's this? What does this lever do? Oh, this is the drive engagement. See that there in the front, the pulley, and then the starter rope. Everything, the recoil works. Did I have it running already? I think it starts. It's really cruddy. It's really rusty and ugly, but it's running, and it has the original bagger with it. And I found a new set of wheels. They're not quite as worn. They're used new to me. Not quite as worn as the ones on this mower, but yeah, man. I mean, maybe there's someone out there that for 30-40 bucks wants an old mower. Because it's running, you know, it idles like a champ. Already put a new air filter on it. Has some gas in it, has oil in it, you know, and everything works. I really only have to maybe lubricate some of the cables, wash this thing, give it a oil change, and pass it on, you know. I like those old machines. I like them better than the newer ones with all the plastic and all the, yeah, not a big fan. You know. Anyways, yeah, that's what I was up to today, picking up some free mowers, and maybe one or the other we can actually bring back to life. I mean, this one is the most damaged because of all the plastic parts broken, but it runs, you know, has a good blade on it, has good wheels on it. It's not wobbly or anything. It actually really looks like someone just messed it up. Anyways, yeah, maybe we're gonna attack one or the other in the next video. You guys keep your eyes open, give me a thumbs up if you like those kind of small engine videos. I know I'm not doing super big video production here with intros and music and you call it, but if you just want the plain Jane 15-minute lawnmower repair video, then come back. All right, take care, bye.